Hey, what's going on, guys? This is our first video. Today, I'm going to be going through our Week 13 NFL player props. We've been going crazy in the NFL, currently up over 75 units on the season, and we're going to be sharing these picks with you right now. Starting with Bryce Young over 13 and a half rush yards. So this is a play that is specifically because of the Eagles' pass rush. So the Eagles have one of the best pass rushes in the NFL, and they play a lot of man coverage, which leads to more quarterback scrambles. So Bryce, this is a situation where the Panthers' offensive line is extremely injured. He should be under a lot of pressure and be forced to run. And in Philadelphia, in a game where they should be trailing, Bryce Young over 13 and a half rush yards, I could see him getting that on one play. Next play, we're going Calvin Ridley over 64 and a half receiving yards. So this is a matchup based play. So the Jaguars play more man coverage than any other team in the NFL. And Calvin Ridley, his production is night and day between man and zone. He is drastically more productive. We love him to go crazy in this game, especially with Will Levis's ascent and improvement the last few weeks. He's looked like a much different quarterback, and Ridley is a massive beneficiary of that. The next pick, we're going with Kevin Austin Jr., under 2.5 receptions. So a little bit off the beaten path there. This guy, he was just promoted onto the Saints active roster this past week, and this line is simply too high. Kevin Austin is not a high possession receiver. He's more of a gadget guy, more of a reverse kick returner type player. He's not the type of player that's going to be consistently going out there and making a lot of catches. We like this matchup. This whole Saints offense is in flux. We don't see him really getting much opportunity, even really being able to run many routes here. Under 2.5 receptions for Kevin Austin. Next, Khalil Shakir over 54 and a half receiving yards. So Khalil Shakir, he's coming off really one of the best games of his career this past game against San Francisco. He had a 39% target share. So he is now clearly Josh Allen's number one receiver. He's taken this from really any of the other threats there. He's now that guy in Buffalo. And just his target share has been crazy. He's clearly uptrending. And then he's just a really talented player as well. He's one of those guys that, he's just really consistent. He never drops passes. And 54 and a half yards in a good matchup versus a Rams secondary that's really not very good in a game that should be pretty high scoring. We love Shakir here to fly over this number. Next, Parker Washington over 30 and a half yards. So Parker last week had a career high 12 targets and has really benefited from a couple of the Jaguars' recent injuries in their receiving room. He's now the clear wide receiver 2 behind Brian Thomas. And really, this new injury to Trevor Lawrence seems to have really helped Parker Washington, as he has a lot of chemistry with Mac Jones, more so than Trevor, as they've been working together a lot in practice, both being second team. They've got a lot of chemistry. And, also this matchup against the Titans are, they're more of a run defense. This is a pass funnel defense. And, I think Washington, last week had over 100 yards, 30 and a half. I see this being pretty easy. They ran a couple of screens for him. I think he gets this number fairly easily. And the last one, Isaac Guerendo, over 73 and a half rush yards. With both McCaffrey and Jordan Mason being out, Guerendo now takes full control of this backfield as the bell cow. And, the rookie, when he's been in there, has been really, really impressive. He's been a guy that a lot of the film nerds have really, really taken note of as being an elite runner and being one of the best rookies in this class, really. When he's had even 10 carries, he's gone over this 73 and a half number every single time. He should have easily 15 plus here. This matchup for Guerendo is elite. The Niners run a zone run scheme, and the Bears are one of the worst zone run scheme defenses in the NFL. And Guerendo really should just be able to go crazy here. They should be, they're 4.5-point favorites. They should be winning in this game. And I think this is really good for Guerendo to even go over 100 if you want to ladder these. All these plays are on Underdog. We have a match deposit up to $1,000. So if you deposit 1,000, you'll get 500. And if you do that, these are the 2-man slips that I would recommend the most. I would say the one, if you were to deposit before Sunday's games, Washington and Ridley. That's a little same game parlay as well. Washington over 2.5 receptions. Calvin Ridley over 64.5 receiving yards are probably my two favorite plays on this slate. I think both just matchup dependent, situation dependent, um, coaching speak. There's a lot of real edge we feel like we have with these props. And yeah, I mean, I think, we've been going crazy, guys. Let's just keep it up. Just stay locked in, let's do it.